So, I wanted to make this video to discuss the status of the fandom as it is today. Um, with season 9 coming up on us, and it's will be the last season, and then speculation is it will have Generation 5. Uh, a lot of people think it'll be the end of the fandom as it is because with the end of Generation 4, everyone's worried that the what brought us all together for the show will disappear. Now, I don't think that's quite true. I think Generation 5 gives us a chance to be reinvigorated, to have more people brought into the fandom. Now, that being said, we can only we have to wait and see exactly how it will turn out. Yes, it will be different, but it'll be no different than like Star Trek. Star Trek had the original series, it had its following, and then decade later or so, Next Generation came out, and that brought out that brought more people in, and it was help invigorate this series. And then you had Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and you know everybody had their favorite incarnations, but everybody still liked Star Trek. And the way I look at it is, even if you don't like Generation 5, there's still plenty here for anybody that wants to stay in the fandom. We have, plenty of, content creators within the fandom that make great Generation 4 stuff, music and videos, uh, fan animations and stories. There's so much out there. And yes, some of our bigger names have gone away, and they need to, some people feel that they will never be anybody else as good as these people. That's not quite true. I just think that the newer talent that has come into the fandom isn't being as recognized as it was before. Early on in the fandom, I came into the fandom at 2011, and back then just about everybody was getting recognized. You made anything and somebody out there was like, hey, look at this. EQD was picking up just about everything. Like you threw something pony at them, they put it out there, showed it to everyone. And as time went on, people got better, standards got higher, and now EQD and people in general have a standard. And I mean, it's good to have standards, but you also have to cultivate the new talent, the new creators. You have to look for them, and you have to help them grow, help them feel like their stuff is appreciated, so they feel like they're doing good work. And I think that is part of our fandom's problem. You know, we're not cultivating our new creators. I mean, I could go on about other problems, but I'll let other channels handle that better than me. Um, that being said, I also believe part of the fandom's problem has been the fact that, it is divided up into factions in a sense. One side doesn't know who the other side is. This person may not know who this person is because they've never met. Nobody's heard of each other. And again, that goes with just new creators coming out and not being promoted very widely, and so nobody inside these other circles talk about the people in the circles that they don't know of. And I think that is a shame, actually. I think there should be more people, more fans that are willing to be in multiple circles, multiple factions, whatever, however you want to call it, that, help bring things over to these to people so they can be introduced to these new things. And this would help the fandom be more cohesive because, let's be honest, we're not that cohesive anymore. We're really not. We've, we're splintered. We're spread out. And one side doesn't like this side, and that side doesn't like this side, and we have these problems too. And it's like, why? Why do we have those problems? What is the purpose of this? Why? Yes, we're not all going to agree on everything. And yes, and people are going to fight. And some people are not going to want to talk to other people. And that's fine. Doesn't mean that just because you like person A, you shouldn't be able to talk to, but person A doesn't like person B doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to talk to person B. You know, the fandom at the start, we used to talk about love and tolerance. And that got subverted somewhere along the way into this thing that people use to excuse crappy behavior. That's not what it was meant for. Love and tolerate was meant to be, you know, have love for your fellow humans, your fellow fans, and everybody that is in the fandom, and learn to tolerate those people you may not like, but that are not bad people per se. They're just there, you know. You may not like a person, but if your friend likes somebody, what's wrong with putting up with somebody for 5, 10 minutes, or listening to your friend talk about them, or whatever? Why is it that we have to split ourselves? There's no reason for it. None whatsoever. We are a we are a great fandom, and we could be great still, and the ride doesn't have to end. We can keep going. The Star Trek fandom, the Star Wars fandom, everyone thought those were gonna die very quickly, and they never did. I mean, look at Star Wars. They had 3 movies in the 70s and early 80s, and everyone was like, "Oh, this thing's gonna die." The movies are over. It's gone. And what it took off into the thing that it became. It became a billion-dollar fandom. Why can't our fandom turn that way? Why can't we be that way? I mean, we're on track to do that, but we need to cultivate our new people. We have to welcome people in and get rid of the bad people. We don't need, we don't need the bad people in our family. We don't need the, you know, pedophiles. We don't need the freaking people that are just here to, just here for bad reasons. We're here to be friends. That's what our show is about being friends. We're here to be friends. And if you can't be friends with somebody, we're here just to learn to tolerate them enough to where, you know, we don't hate them. You shouldn't hate people without good reason. I mean, there are some people do, I'm not going to say that you should never hate anyone, because that is a personal decision that you have to make on your own. And I mean, just you have to, but why can't we as a fandom learn to get past petty differences, petty problems? Some of us have some major issues and major problems with each other, and those they have to be addressed in their own right at their own time. But the petty problems, oh, I don't like this type of music, so therefore I don't like you. What? That is so silly. Or, I don't like Fallout Equestria, therefore I don't want to associate with anyone that does. What? That would just be silly. I mean, let's not be silly with each other. I mean, well, okay, we are silly people, but let's not be silly in the fact that let's not be friends with people because they have something wrong. They like something different. I have learned. I have friends, all types of friends in all types of circles of life. And yes, they all don't like the same things, and I don't like all the same things that they do. We disagree with sometimes even politics and religion. But you know what? We're still friends because we like each other at some level, or we at least tolerate each other, and we have some common interests. And the fact that all of us are in each other's lives have made it richer. The fact that we don't always agree has made us better people. And that's what I want to see for this fandom. I want to see our fandom grow, and the people that come in to be better people and to become productive members of society. And for us to be, to 20 years from now, we can look back and this fandom might still be here, and maybe not all of us will be, but yet, even if you're outside 20 years from now, you could look back and say, you could see the fandom, be like, tell somebody, I helped that. I was in that fandom 20 years ago, and I helped push it forward in its infancy. Now, I mean, that is just, those are my thoughts. And I'm welcome to hear what anybody else thinks. And I did have a script for this. I had scripted this whole video out, and I decided that I was just going to wing it instead. Pardon the pun. But, I mean, I just didn't feel like the script had the right feeling. It wouldn't have, it would sound scripted. It wouldn't sound from the heart. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a video from the heart.